My name is Dr. Ozella Barnes, and I am a licensed clinical psychologist. Currently, I am Director of Programs at A Safe Place, which is an agency that provides a continuum of services for victims, survivors, and perpetrators of domestic violence. Out of care is foster care, homeless, DCFS involvement, adoption. My initial thoughts or early learnings about adoption was something that white people did when their daughters got pregnant. They sent them away, and then they came back and there was no child. And you never knew they were pregnant unless the kid told you before they left. So that was my impression of adoption. And so when they talked about Black girls, teenagers being an epidemic with having children, my thought was, well, that's because they keep them. And white people didn't. So you didn't know that they were having kids as much as our kids were having kids. So that's how I thought initially. And then I also culturally knew that it was not something that Black people did. It was viewed as giving away your responsibility, and if you were mature enough to lay down and have sex, and then if you got pregnant, you should be mature enough to be a parent. So that went for everything until it was your daughter. There were lots of families who did things like terminate pregnancies because they didn't want the embarrassment, they didn't want people to find out, they didn't want the responsibility, they didn't want their daughter's life to be ruined, 1,000,001 reasons, excuses, and she often didn't have a choice. So it was what the parents decided, that's what the kid had to accept if it was a teenage pregnancy. And so that's what I understood more about it culturally. And then the bridge for that later in life as a professional, and with working with, adolescents and young adults, I have had many, many clients over my 20-year career with young people who end up pregnant and in positions where they don't believe in abortion, and often they don't really know how they feel about abortion. They just know how their family has said they feel about abortion, so that's what they go with. When you give them options, when you talk about options, many who really couldn't deal with the responsibility or what to think about having a baby and taking care of a baby and not having the means to support a baby, they would consider adoption.